We are back with another YouTube video. How do YouTubers do it? Is it that whole, hi guys, I'm back with another YouTube video? I find it so cringe, you know. We're here, my second YouTube video where I asked over 5,000 people for my Instagram page. And if you just plug my Instagram page, at the Young Imam. If you don't follow it, you'll find out what life's like as a young Muslim. You'll find out what Islam teaches. You'll find out what it's like being a young dad. So if you're not following that, follow that page. So I asked people to ask whatever question they wanted, to get nosy, up and personal in my business about whatever they wanted to know about my life. Here are the questions you guys asked. And you know what? I don't think I've been this personal before, ever. I've not seen any of the questions because I wanted it to be like a surprise for me. So you're gonna have my real, natural reaction. So without further ado, let's make it happen. I've got the questions here on my laptop. I've not seen any of them. These are interesting. Some people have just sent words. Question number 1. At what age is it no longer acceptable to call yourself a young Imam? Look, you know the Young Imam, right? The Young Imam Instagram page, YouTube page, Twitter, TikTok, the lot. I'll always be Young Imam. There's no age cap on the Young Imam. Even when I'm 50 years old, there's no limit on that. So for your fingers crossed, hopefully, I'll always be young at heart. So the Young Imam will always be deep within. Yeah, deep within the soul. About life in Jamia, so the seminary which I studied at 7 years, and also a general day-to-day life in there. Right, so Jamia, the seminary which we studied to become Imams in, it's like an army camp. It's like a boarding school. So you spend 6 days a week there. You have 1 day off where you go and see family. And day to day, what happens there? So you wake up in the morning for Fajr prayer, the first prayer of the day out of 5. You pray together in the mosque downstairs, and then we would read Holy Quran or you do some studying, and then I'd knock out again and go back to sleep until about 7:30ish. Get ready for assembly, have breakfast or whatever, get ready, and then we'd have assembly, and then we'd have lessons straight after assembly from 8:30 until 2 p.m. 2 p.m. we'd have break in between, right? We'd have break in between at 11, half 11ish, and we'd have biscuits and tea. At 2 o'clock after our lessons, we'd go for afternoon prayer, so Zuhr and Namaz, which is the second and third prayer out of the 5 daily prayers, followed by lunch, and then you were free to do whatever you wanted to do. So I normally go to the gym. I had a membership outside in the local leisure centre. Went to the gym there, made a lot of friends there, had a proper good time there. And then we'd come back I'd come back after about a few hours, shower up, whatever, get ready, and then we'd have dinner in the evening. And in between there, we'd have time to chill. So we'd go and sit in each other's rooms, have a laugh. You can bear in mind that we were together in my year group, or our year group. We were together for 7 years. So we had such a good laugh. I saw them more than I saw my own brothers. And so that was really nice. To the extent that even me and Fatih, a friend of mine, we ran the Manchester Marathon together. And we were running 8 times a week, some weeks. So back to the schedule. So 6 p.m, 7 o'clock we'd have dinner. And then we'd pray again in the evening. Maghrib Isha prayer. So the 4th and 5th prayers out of the 5 daily prayers. And then we'd have study time, which basically meant the whole school would sit in their classroom and we'd study in our classroom, private studying for 2-3 hours. And then there was lights off and then we'd go sleep. So that was basically the routine which we had in Jamia. Next question is, this is quite nice. Could you share a beautiful spiritual experience you had and one you feel comfortable sharing with us? Do you know what? I feel like I've not got a specific one. And I feel like every individual has their own spiritual story of acceptance of prayer, or where they feel like they're connected with their maker, with Allah the Almighty. So there's not one specific one, but I just feel like even at day-to-day living, and being able to pray and taking time out of work is a spiritual experience. Just standing there and closing your eyes and giving your full attention to prayer is quite a spiritual experience. So that's my answer for that. Every day through prayer for me is a spiritual experience. Question number 5. How you and your wife met. Basically how me and Melissa met. I knew this question would come up. So In year 5 of my degree, I said to my mum, look, I want to get married. So my mum introduced me to Melissa. So Melissa came to our house. My mum knew Melissa from before, because when Melissa converted to Islam when she was 13, my mum helped her to become Muslim. So Melissa came to our house. We met. We had a chat about life. Like, do you think we were compatible? What were my outlook on life? What were her outlooks on life? And I said to Melissa, look, I can't take you on expensive holidays or shopping sprees, whatever. Like, I'm not an imam or a missionary. I didn't do this job to be like loaded. Like, I'm not here for materialistic gains, but I can give you love and happiness. And if that's something you can deal with, then I'm the man. So she agreed. Yeah. And then we were engaged for a year and a half. And you know, actually on like an engagement point of view, if I was thinking of getting engaged, I wouldn't recommend or suggest getting engaged for a longer period of time, because it just makes everything so much harder. Like, you want to be with someone, but you can't be with them. Because within Islam, the whole engagement like thing, there's no such thing in Islam as having an engagement. Because an engagement is just like you both commit to it. So if anyone's thinking of having an engagement, like, I wouldn't even suggest that. Just like, get straight to marrying, because it saves so many problems. The next question number 6. What challenge is interesting? What challenges do you face, if you do, after becoming an imam? So, that's a good question. 2 challenges. The first challenge is, I feel like people have the perception of an imam who's quite serious and strict and not approachable and not relatable. I'm trying to get rid of that misconception, because I feel like I'm someone who people can approach with a problem or an issue. Like, I'm young, I'm born in the UK, I know what the crack is. Like, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, do you know what I mean? So I feel like people can relate to me, and if they've got a problem or an issue, they can come to me and ask for my advice. And that's happened before, and it's been really nice to be able to help people. And number 2, the misconception that Islam is a religion of like violence and terror, and it's not. That is something which I'm dealing with, that trying to get rid of that misconception that Islam is a religion to be scared of, and it's really not. The word Islam originates from an Arabic word which means peace. So Islam literally means peace. Question number 7. Where are you from? And were you born a Muslim or converted? And God bless you. God bless you as well. So I'm from Manchester, as I said before. I was born a Muslim, and so my parents, so my grandparents, and so on and so forth. I was born a Muslim, I didn't convert. Next question 8. What is your dream car? Like, I'm so glad someone asked that question. My dream car, at the moment, looking at it from like a father and a petrol head, is gonna be an RS4, an Audi RS4, for 2 reasons. One, it's big enough to put the pram in. Like, I've been in some RSs, the RS3, and that boot is so small. So definitely the RS4, because it's big enough. You can chuck the kids in there, chuck the pram in there, and off you go. And number 2, because I know it's got a kick. Like, I know you put your foot down and it's gonna go. Fab. Next question. Ooh, this is interesting. How are you able to manage all the different areas of your life so well? So, that's such a massive question. Do you know there's a lot of different components in my life at the moment? There is the aspect of work. Social media also falls under that. You've got family, friends. So there's a lot. And I think each one requires its due time. And in the beginning, when I started social media, I really struggled with balancing my time. And like, I'll be honest with you, there were times where I was putting my work before my family, and I wasn't giving my family their due time. And that was an injustice in itself. And after having a conversation with Melissa, I was like, look, I'm struggling to balance everything. And she gave me like a piece of advice, which I even hold dear now, like from the start of Instagram, like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And she said, you need to block out like set chunks of the day where you're going to do certain things. So I make a plan, I make a schedule, and that really helped me. So making time for each individual thing at its appropriate time, giving it its appropriate amount of time, is really important. Next question. This is a good question. This is a deep one. Got goosebumps again, you know. What made you want to become a Murabbi, a missionary, and Imam? Do you know what? You know, from day one, yeah? This is the honest truth. I never had a desire to become a missionary, become an Imam. When I was younger, I always wanted to become a police officer. Like up to the age of 16, my parents would always encourage me and be like, look, why don't you think of giving your life for the service of religion? There's a lot of blessings in it. Why do you think of doing it? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll think about it, whatever. And after the age of 16, they didn't say anything because they were like, look, whatever you want to do in life, whatever career you want to follow, we will like help you in that and support you in that. Like, it's your life at the end of the day. You got to lead the life. So there was a point where I wanted to join the police force. And literally, overnight, I decided to give my life for the service of religion. And 100% it was the prayers of my elders, my parents, my grandparents. Without a shadow of a doubt, it was the blessings of Allah the Almighty who enabled me to take that first step in giving my life for the service of religion. So I did my GCSEs, did my 1 year of A levels, and then I applied to the seminary, did like a mini entrance exam, filled out the application form, and one thing led to a next. And one morning I had a letter in the post saying that you've been accepted. Do you know what? On that note, yeah, that was the second time I've ever seen my dad cry in my whole life. The first time I saw my dad cry was like at the passing away of someone. And the second time I saw my dad cry was when the letter came through the post and I opened it and I'd been accepted. And at that point, when I saw, God, it's emotional, I saw tears in my dad's eyes, I knew that it's something which they wanted me to do from day one. And it was nice to be able to fulfill their dream and desire, which they might have expected from me. So yeah, that was a story that I literally overnight decided to give my life for the service of religion.